Hi, I'm Sharon Knight, and I'm so pleased that you are joining us for our Building Community Check-in today. I hope you had a wonderful week. I know it's been trying and emotional for some of us, and it's been a week that's caused many of us to stand up to the values and behaviors that really define us as individuals and as members of our society. I am at Hope Communities, which is a nonprofit that has been supporting some of the most vulnerable people in Denver for 40 years with housing programs and resource navigation. Building community has always been a part of what we've done, but we realized that during this pandemic, it was more important than ever for us to continue building that sense of community by hosting shows like this. So we've been hosting these Facebook Live shows 3 times a week. And part of the reason we chose this format is because you can write comments to us in the chat feature and we can respond to you immediately or later on. And also, if you have any need for help or if you have any questions, you can always reach us at info@hopecommunities.org. And there's a lot of information actually on our website, which is hopecommunities.org. We have a special tab for resources related to COVID-19. And lots of other information. So try there if you need something right away. So part of this show is I'd like to provide a couple of updates on the virus. Public health officials are concerned about the possibility of more people running into others with the virus because of our demonstrations and protests. And so the testing is now free, even if you don't have symptoms, if you believe that you have been exposed to someone who does, or if you are deemed an essential worker by your employer, or if you've been contacted by the state because they've been tracing contacts of other people who have the virus. So if you want to get that, even if you have insurance, you can get free testing without a copay. So Governor Polis has actually given businesses the right to refuse entry to people if you don't have a face covering. Remember, you can use a bandana if you want, if you don't have a mask, but you've got to have something to get into almost every business out there. If you actually are one of the Hope residents from one of our properties and you don't have a mask, please contact our staff because we have been getting a lot of masks to pass on to you. Thousands of Coloradans have participated in mostly peaceful demonstrations in Denver over the last 8 or 9 days to honor George Floyd and to protest police brutality and systemic racism. I thought it was really interesting yesterday when children took the stage to give their perspective on the issues. And even though it wasn't easy to do, one little girl, Mac, wanted people to know why racism didn't make any sense to her at all. She said, I think like Black people, it's just, I don't know why this is happening. It's just how they look. It's just their skin and it's on the outside. She was very exasperated when she told the crowd that. And then a little boy, Shannon, stepped up and said that he really appreciated the fact that the protests were safe enough for families to have their kids with them so that they could also lend their voices and march alongside as community activists. And he said, this is not a turn up and burn stuff down rally. Those things happen in other places, but this is a time for us to come together in unity, realizing that we can advocate for change. I just love the fact that these kids are already really trying to change our environment and that they are inspiring and modeling great behavior for their parents and other adults. I also watched a Facebook post today, a live post from a friend who exemplified how meaningful the marches have been. She was on the street watching cars go by on the way to the demonstration. She said most of the cars were filled with white passengers and they were fired up and carrying signs demonstrating their acknowledgement that Black Lives Matter. My colleague had tears coming down her face and explained that she couldn't believe that all these people were actually saying that she mattered, that Black lives mattered. It was a beautiful moment for her to share with all of us, and it's a moment for us to remember how important it is to validate, to communicate, and to demonstrate our core values, around diversity, inclusion, and equity. So I'd like to give quotes each time we have one of these shows. The first one is actually a repeat, just because I think it is so important right now. Until the great mass of the people shall be filled with the sense of responsibility for each other's welfare, social justice can never be attained. That's by Helen Keller. And one more by Steve Jobs. Everyone here has the sense that right now is one of those moments when we are influencing the future. You know, I was in a conference call yesterday and someone referenced a moral that made sense after all of this long and emotional week. And she was talking just about that, how it's important to plant seeds for a just and equitable society. And then she shared the moral, which is the best time to plant this tree was 20 years ago, but it didn't happen. The second best time to plant that tree is right now. And that's so true. We've got to make some progress, listen to the kids and listen to our hearts to really move forward on some of the things that we've been talking about as important for so long. And as we're reflecting how we all move forward on these explorations, we've got to remember to take care of ourselves. And one way to do that is to walk while we're thinking through things. And another way is to listen to music that helps to express your thoughts and soothe your soul. We're going to help you today by setting the stage with music. It's my pleasure to introduce a musician who's going to share his talent with us today. Adam Goldstein has many years in the music industry. He has played individually and with many other artists, including a group he regularly plays with called Avourneen. Avourneen plays a variety of Irish and Celtic music, and he also plays folk and rock. He's performed often at Clock Tower Cabaret, and he plays all over town, and he's doing some virtual shows right now. His day job is as a digital communications specialist at Cherry Creek Schools, and he's also been a writer for the Daily Camera, Westwood, the Aurora Sentinel, and other papers. And today he's going to grace us with some folk music. So I am going to turn this around to face Adam.
Hey everybody. It's a real honor to be able to play some music for you. And I'm going to do some of my favorite folk songs. I'm going to start with a song by Bob Dylan. It was one of his first breakout songs, and I think it's very apropos to the times we're living on right now. Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the water around you has grown, and accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, then you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone, for the times they are a-changing. Come writers and critics who prophesy with your pen, and keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. And don't speak too soon, for the wheels are in spin. There's no telling who that is aiming for the loser now and later to win, for the times they are a-changing. Come senators, congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall, for he that gets hurt will be he that is stopped. There's a battle outside and it's raging. It'll soon shake your windows and rattle your walls, for the times they are a-changing. Come mothers and fathers throughout the land, and don't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. strong, the cursed is cast. The slow one now will later be fast, as the present now will later be past. The order is rapidly fading, and the first one now will later be last, for the times they are a change. All right.
Awesome.
Thank you. So that was going back a little ways, and I'm going to go back even more. And I'm going to play a song by a guy that was a hero, Bob Dylan's. And there was talk at one point of making this song the national anthem. That's by a guy named Woody Guthrie. And I'm going to sing a verse that he didn't sing all the time because it was kind of considered a little bit too in your face, but he insisted that it be remembered. So. As I went walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Goldstein waters. This land was made for you and me, where the fog come lifting and the sun come shining, with the wheat fields waving and the dust clouds rolling, and all around me the song comes lifting. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Gulf Stream waters to the waters. This land is made for you and me. Was a big high wall there that tried to stop me, with a red sign painted, said private property. But on the backside, it didn't say nothing. This land was made for you and me. But this land is your land, but this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. All right. So, keeping in that vein of things, I'm going to play another old tune. And there was a folk singer named Leadbelly that used to do this song. I think he wrote it. He was a great 12-string guitar player, so if you get a chance, check out some Leadbelly. He also wrote the Midnight Special. This isn't particularly political. This is just an old love song. I think you just need some human compassion these days too. So this is called Good Night, Irene. And let me make sure the air conditioning isn't wreaking too much havoc with my strings. All right. Last Saturday night I got married. Me and my wife settled down. Now me and my wife are talking. I'm gonna take sit down by the fire so bright. Sometimes I live in the country, sometimes I live in town. Sometimes I have a great notion just to let it all hang down. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Wonderful. Okay. So, that was Goodnight, Irene. And for those of you who want to hear more, I'm going to do a live concert through Swallow Hill Music tonight. So, if you go on their page and like Swallow Hill, you'll be able to hear me do some originals and some other tunes as well, some Irish songs. So I'm going to do something a little bit different. This isn't old-timey folk, but this is by one of my favorite artists and one of my favorite poets. And it's just a beautiful song. It's a time for beautiful songs to take comfort in. Well, I heard there was a secret chord that David played, and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled composing. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Well, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty and the moonlight overthrew you. Where she tied you to your kitchen chair, she broke your throat and she cut your hair, and from you she drew the hallelujah, hallelujah. Baby, I've been here before. I've seen this room and I've walked this floor. I used to live alone before I knew you, but I've seen your flag on the marble arch. And love, it's not some kind of victory march. No, it's cold and it's every broken hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Maybe there's a God above, but all I ever learned from love was how to shoot at someone who outdrew you. And it's not a complaint that you're here tonight. not the laughter of someone who's seen the light. No, it's cold, and it's every broken hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I forgot to mention who the poet was that wrote this. That's a Leonard Cohen tune, and I encourage everyone to listen to more Leonard Cohen. He was an amazing musician, an amazing lyricist. So I'm gonna do one more. And this isn't old folky. This is more 70s folky, but it's one of my favorite songs. This is by Cat Stevens, and I think it hints at the scope of our universe. That's always something to remember. Now that I've lost everything to you, you say you want to start something new, and it's breaking my heart you're leaving. Baby, I'm grieving, but if you want to leave, take good care. Hope you got a lot of nice things to wear. Just remember there's a lot of bad everywhere. Ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. It's hard to get by just a promise to smile, girl. Ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. And I'll always remember you just like a child, girl. You know I've seen a lot of what the world can do, and it's breaking my heart in two, 'cause I never want to see you sad. Don't be a bad girl, but if you want to leave, take good care. Hope you got a lot of nice friends out there. Just remember there's a lot of bad everywhere. Ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. It's hard to get by just from a smile, girl. Ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. And I'll always remember you just like a child, girl. Baby, I love you, but if you want to leave, take good care. Hope you got a lot of nice friends out there. Just remember there's a lot of bad everywhere. Ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. It's hard to get by just on a smile, girl. Ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. I'll always remember you just like a child, girl. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. I'm leaving room for applause. Don't forget that Adam will be playing tonight on Swallow Hill Music's website. You just have to like Swallow Hill and you'll get an access to that. And hopefully soon we'll be up again for business and you can go see him when he's performing around town. So, and either alone or with his group called Avourneen. So my closing out remarks are just to tell you about a book review that we are going to post in just a few minutes. We have a young student, Maya Hoffman, who is a 2020 graduate of Mount Holyoke College in Massachusetts, where she earned her BA in politics and French, and she is pursuing a career in criminal justice reform. She's reviewing her all-time favorite book, Just Mercy, by Brian Stevenson. And Brian is an attorney who provides representation and fair trial to those people who often don't get access to that. And while he works with many clients, the book follows the case of Walter McMillian, an African-American man who was falsely accused of murdering a white woman, and also there was a movie recently made of that. So the book highlights lots of unjust and disproportionate treatment of people of color, people who have disabilities, those who are living in poverty, and Maya explains it so much better than I ever could. So I do hope that you will watch her review and also get this book to read. It's a great time for learning about systems, and I think that Brian Stevenson would be a great author to help you to do that. Thank you again for joining us, and I hope that you will be well. And remember, if there's anything that you need from us at Hope Communities, you can email us at info@hopecommunities.org. Thanks so much. Bye.